What's up, y'all? So this is going to be the first episode of Couches to Condos. I'm going to do an episode with my grandmother, Miss Vernese Williams, and she's 92, so today's her birthday. So it's exciting that we're launching a channel today, and it's her birthday. 92 years old, and we're going to visit her later. But nevertheless, I'm sitting here on the couch right now because a few months ago, I was a, master's graduate, 3 degrees and not much to show for it. I had one in kinesiology, one in Spanish, and one in biology, and I found myself on someone's couch due to opportunities that fell through after grad school. So the purpose of this channel is just for motivational purposes and to showcase that you can be on a couch one day and find yourself on a condo the next day based on your mindset. And so it's more of a movement, it's more to get you moving in the right direction, because you can make moves but you still not find yourself in the right direction. So we're not in a condo yet, but we're one step closer, and this is how I know. So follow me as we're overlooking a condo where they're about $1 million a pop. So it's gonna be an exciting journey. I'm gonna share a lot about my life that a lot of you may not know. Some of my close friends do know, but this is exciting. So we're gonna put state of Louisiana on the map, state of Georgia on the map, and wherever else we go. So stay tuned. All right, so we are in Savannah, Georgia at the Cotton Exchange with my fiance, and I'm with my grandma, Miss Bernice Jenkins. I'm just playing. That's not your name. What's your name? Tell me your name, Grandma. What's your name?
Vernese Williams.
Vernese Williams. But I never refer to you as that, so it's like weird hearing me say it. I refer to you as Grandma. You know what you want to eat?
Yeah, I think for it.
Huh?
I think I'm gonna see it.
No, this on us. We the hustlers. You hustled already. You passed the torch. I was at church one time. They told me to just pass the baton. So that's what you got to do. How you feeling, Tay? I ain't like you shy behind the camera.
It's 3:18 and we've yet to eat today.
I had an apple and a banana. I'm cool.
And I've had beer.
It's the menu, guys. Y'all over here. I'm gonna give y'all a review. So this restaurant will be having a review from me on Yelp, if it's good or bad. So we came here because it was good. So I'm either gonna add to it or take away. Why should you pay for my dinner?
Because y'all
With you, I guess. It's a blessing. Listen, it's a blessing to be a blessing in somebody's life. Ain't that right? Old child, ain't that right?
I'm sure. I appreciate you thinking about me.
I think about you a lot. Ask my fiance. What's my fiance name? What is it? Start with a T. Start with a T.
Oh, Tanya?
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. I don't know remember that. That's a pretty name, you know? Different, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like Blake's mother. Her name is kind of different. And I told her, but I think her name carries her through a lot of places when she first got started out in the studio.
Yeah.
I won't tell her I said it.
All right, I'm not.
But I think her name kept her name. What's she taking to? Look through there.
Yeah?
Isn't that neat all? We've been there a long time. Who knows how long? Like 100 years.
What's up, y'all? So this is our first episode of From Couches to Condos, and I have a very special guest on the show this evening. Is my grandmother, Miss Vernese Williams. Really excited about this moment. She'll be 92 in a month, so had a lot of questions I wanted to ask her. So what better way to put her on the show as a first episode. So she has a lot of wisdom and knowledge, being that she's outlived most people, and she's so sharp. She still lives on her own, doesn't have to go to a nursing home. She still drives, which is amazing to me. So it's a blessing to have her here and a blessing to just have her share some wisdom. So I'm just going to ask her some questions and we'll go from there. So Grandma, you know, I want to know, like, when you were able to remain so positive throughout all the ups and downs in life that you've had to go through, and I want to know why that is.
I'm not sure. I just would take one day at a time.
Okay.
If some days were bad, some were pretty good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But once I had children, my mind was mostly on seeing they were all right. I didn't have time to really think about myself that much.
Right.
Just as long as the husband, the children's father, he kind of wanted to be first all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we worked around that, and it made sure the children was okay.
Okay.
They would, once you have children, and mine weren't that far apart. They maybe 2 years or 2.5 years, and
Right.
none of them weren't real that close. So it kept me busy.
Okay.
Yeah, it kept me busy.
Okay. So, what is the hardest part about being a parent? Because you were a parent to 6 children. So how did you leverage that?
Well, I guess it was hard. It was days it was hard. And the hardest part would be, I don't believe there was very many people that really went through with the situation that I had to go through,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I'm just talking down from when I was moved to Savannah. Because I had hard days in the country. I had to cut all the wood. In fact, I don't think my husband even knew how to cut wood like most men were supposed to know how to cut wood.
Really?
I think his mother always cut the wood, and she had 4 sons. The Azel Devils. She had 4 sons.
Wow.
2 daughters. And she told me that she always cut the wood.
Mm-hmm.
And I could understand why my husband didn't know anything about cutting wood. He didn't have to know anything about cutting wood. And the type of work he was doing, he would leave it home before day in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and be way in the night getting home.
Wow.
Because he was working at Portwood,
Mm-hmm.
and they was paying him at that time $4 a day. Later on, I think he maybe got 6 before we moved down here. When he got a job at the state highway, of course that wasn't as bad a job. He didn't have to be half a night get home.
Okay.
Because he told me that they were loading the box cars, the train box cars. They would be loading those box cars until 11 o'clock at night,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would bring him home, maybe about 11:30. Then they was picking him up before day every morning to go back to work. And before that was after we moved on to Sand Hill. When we moved out there, he got on the program that's called a farm school, and that's why we were over there his daddy had bought a place from his cousin, and it was, we could farm over there. We did grow, food, a lot of vegetables and tomatoes and whatever that we could use. They also had pretty blackberries growing beside the fence right in front of the house, and some local, lower, the ones that weren't on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
We had lots of them growing, and some of his cousins from Pembroke and some of the other people from Pembroke would drive way down there to pick blackberries.
Okay.
And his cousins, 2 of his younger cousins from Pembroke, they were with those ladies picking blackberries, and I understand that they were selling them to the white ladies in Pembroke,
Mm-hmm.
Because I think those ladies were probably going to make jelly or something, you know.
Okay.
But I picked blackberries to can and make jam, and ran into a problem with that because my husband had an aunt, and her husband was driving the school bus. He went and told my mother-in-law that we were perishing to death over there on the sand hill because I was picking blackberries side the fence, side the road.
So and that told on you?
Well, I'm still trying to figure what kind of parent, what kind of mother did they have. They didn't know anything about picking blackberries, because where I was raised across the river over the Camp Stewart area, everybody that had any sense was picking blackberries. Mom and them and her sister, they would go and pick huckleberries too. A place they called Turkey Nest. They would go and pick blackberries. They'd put the big zinc tubs in the wagon and come back with them full of huckleberries.
Okay. And
they would can the huckleberries. We'd have those for pies, you know, during the off season. When they weren't fresh, you have canned up. But this J.C. Ball was married to my husband's aunt. He drove the school bus. He went and told my mother-in-law that we were perishing to death because I was picking blackberries side the fence. And I couldn't understand where he came from and what his wife knew, that they didn't do anything about picking blackberries, because that's where I was raised. My mother always picked blackberries, and we did too.
Did my mom have to do any of that?
No, your mother wasn't born down there. Your mother was born in Savannah. So your mother was born down here.
So what was my mom like? Because I know you told me she was, you know, she's the last kid, so she's the baby. What was my mom like?
Well, Jana was not a bad child. Her and Francine used to fight.
Yeah.
You know, she tells me, she said her daddy would come and hit, because they were swapping them with the belt or something, and she thinks that he hit her more than he did Francine. She said he always beat her more. And I didn't know that, but that's what she said. And I was trying to figure it out, and the only thing I can figure is that Francine was so little when she was born that he might have just kind of had pity on her or something. I don't know. She grew, you know, to be up normal size, but Francine didn't weigh 3 pounds when she was born.
Wow, that's small.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
She didn't weigh 3 pounds when she was born. Anyway, once we moved here to Savannah, my husband, well, the first job he got was with Esther Paving. And he said they had him in a ditch so deep that he couldn't even see the sun. He worked with that 3 weeks. And he had a friend from up around Pembroke, where we moved from, that said, Hez, you can get my job. Say, I'm leaving, I'm quitting this job. Say, I'm changing tires. Kenny Means down on Bay Street. And all of the boys in the country knew how to change tires because they all had access to an old car of some sorts. So they knew how to change. He knew how to change tires. So he got that job paying $35 a week, working 6 days a week.
What year was this?
That was in 1954.
Okay. So I want to know, Grandma, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy now? Well, considering the circumstances and my age and all that I am right now, I'm happy to just that I'm still here. That Jehovah has seen fit to let me see my grandchildren and great-grandchildren grow up, and they seem to be, you know, living a clean life. And nothing could make me more happier than to see and to live to see my grandchildren and great-grandchildren grow up. And most of them seem to be going well, you know, with their life. They're not in any trouble or causing anybody any trouble. Their parents have raised them. I'm thankful that I've seen my grandchildren raising their children.
Absolutely.
And I just think that's one of the most blessings that I've had.
Okay.
and to see them living clean lives. They're not causing anybody any trouble. I mean, the law with the law or with the neighbors or whatever. Everybody seems to think well of them, and I'm glad that I lived to see that.
Okay.
I think I was blessed to see that.
Okay. So, next question. What do you want to be remembered for?
Well, I can't say that I have did all that much during my lifetime. I did raise a family, but if I could be remembered for just trying to treat people like I want to be treated, that is one of the nicest things that I can think of right now. Mm-hmm. Because I try to treat people like I want to be treated. Because there's lots going on that it doesn't turn out that way. Mm-hmm. Most people want to be treated in a good way, in the right way, in a nice way, mm-hmm. but they do not want to treat other people that way. They go all the opposite, mm-hmm. which is very sad, in my opinion. But I tried to. I'm not perfect, but I tried to treat people like I want to be treated. And if everybody would treat people like they want to be treated, we wouldn't have all these problems we have in the world right now. Okay. That's the way That's
fair enough.
The way I see it.
I agree. My next question is, what advice do you have to the youth, like people who are in their 20s, even teenagers or someone even in their 30s? What's one piece of wisdom that you can share to the world that they can take, being that you're 91 now, and there's a lot of things that I wish I knew when I was things that I wish I knew now when I was 20, things I wish I knew now when I was 18, things I wish I knew now when I was 16. So being 91, what are some things that you can share with me in the world that would kind of make me, I guess, ahead of my time, if you would? That's one thing.
Okay, your question is?
So making it in a simplistic manner, what's one piece of wisdom you can share with me, being that you're 91, maybe something that you wish you knew when you were my age that you know now that had benefited you tremendously?
Did you get Bible study started and learn the truth, which you may not agree with me with that, your mother probably wouldn't agree with it, and your acquaintances might not agree with it, but if you have superiors on your job that's over you, they would appreciate it. Our Brother Washington, which is our he is our brother that conducts our Watchtower study. He told the congregation one Sunday that his boss man said he wished all of his employees were Jehovah's Witnesses. He said, I wish all of my employees were Jehovah's Witnesses. That's the impression that he has given to his boss man. And evidently, he didn't know the boss man was watching that, mm-hmm. that he told him. He told him. And so we thought, and we were glad to hear that, because it made us feel good to see, we must be on the right track here. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fair enough. So next question, Grandma, is, do you have any regrets?
I surely do. And I imagine that most people have regrets. I can't say they do because they haven't told me about them. I do.
What's your regret?
Being hard-headed.
In what way? Like hard-headed
Well, I didn't accomplish what my parents probably wanted me to try to accomplish, like going to school, and even though it was hard and things was rough, by me being the youngest, I didn't learn to cook like I was supposed to cook. And when I left there, I was supposed to cook for myself. And either I was too stupid to cook. At Sugar had a store. Daddy said, well, you get what you want from her, and I'll come and settle up with her every once a month, pay her. And me being young, I was about 15 years old. I was embarrassed to try to cook before people because I didn't much know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't cook. I wouldn't buy nothing to cook. And I mostly just stayed hungry most of the time because of my sorrowness, and hadn't learned to cook before I left home. And then, they wanted me to go on to college, but no. I was tired of walking around hungry, going kind of my sorrowness, so I didn't go. I tried to go. My husband, of course, upset at me. After I had all the children, your mama had all the children. And his brother, around the corner, was jealous because I was going, and his wife wasn't qualified to go. So I didn't know he told him that if I got the education, that I wouldn't do nothing but walk off with and leave him.
No way.
And so therefore, what was he doing? But he wasn't working at the time. So we had the house notes paid up about 3 years ahead of time. So he didn't have a job, but at least you could look at the house. And he called himself running out there to pick me up. And I had caught the bus. He wasn't there to pick me up. So I caught the bus to come home. Then he go flying out there to pick me up, and I was at home. Then he runs back home and then jump on me, beat me up. And I reckon he wanted to see that's what the nigga brought me home. I guess that's what he wanted to say. I don't know. Anyway, it was a whole big mess. And I actually, when time to go back, when school opened, I was trying to get night courses, and I couldn't get into the subjects I needed for night, and so I just dropped it, and I never did go back.
Wow.
That's after I had your mama all the shit and everything. Anyway, that family enviousness is a bad thing. One part of the family jealous of the other part of the family to think they're gonna do more than what they're doing.
Exactly.
Create a lot of problems. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm telling you the truth about it. And but first, regrets, sure. I could have maybe accomplished. Well, my dad believed in educating his children, and it was hard because over there where we were, they didn't want. They had you go to school. Start school the last of September. In April, you were getting out of there. You were getting out. And you know how many months is that? About 6 months, a little better.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we were going.
Wow.
You didn't really have a chance to eat. That's why I think my oldest sister and brother, he used to send them up to Claxton because they could go finish 7th grade. Because down there they could go up to 5th grade in Liberty County, the blacks. And at Claxton they would let them go to 7th grade. When you left there, if you got there for the education, the blacks, you had to go to private school where you had to pay tuition, to go. And so that's what Daddy, he tried to send all the children to school. All them would go. And but that was one of the things that I regret about the education thing.
Yeah.
Because I could have maybe had a better life than what I did, because when I got some people say, oh, you can work, you can do day work. And Savannah then, yeah, you work, they let you work about half an hour.
Wow.
paying 35 cents an hour, clean the house.
Okay.
So I did that. I've been through all of that. But
Well, one last question I wanted to ask you, because I know it's getting kind of late. Daylight savings time. I know that's your favorite topic, talking about the daylight savings time change. But what is the one thing that life is all about?
well, since I have found what the truth is, actually, it's really trying to live to please Jehovah, because He is the creator, grand creator, and we have to look to Him for everything we get. But that is one of the most important things. Is if I had anything could do it, I'd get everybody on this right road that we talked about. Get them on the right road where we could, because Blake, in the new paradise earth. See, Jehovah created man to live forever. That's why you have a desire to live forever. I know you get up and look at the sky and look around. You have a desire to live forever. That's it's in you. You was created that way. Jehovah created man to live forever. But Satan and Adam brought this curse of death and thrown on everybody. And most people do have to go through that. But the hopes is now is that you, with your age, you may not have to see death. You have a prospect of living forever and not even have to depend on a resurrection, because the people, the righteous and the unrighteous, will be resurrected, because they got to stand the test. The life they live here, the questions are going to be put to them about a lot of things that they're going to have to. It's just like going to court, that you committed a crime, and the judge is going to be listening. So we're going to be judged, but that's Christ is going to be in charge of that. And also that we have anointed brothers and sisters that we'll have a role with that too. They have to. We got to be judged.
Right.
We got to be judged. And you do have an opportunity we will have an opportunity for life everlasting. You live forever. And you have a desire. It's built in you. You have a desire to want to live. But that's why you created that way.
Right.
You created that way. But we didn't know that. And that segregation thing, it threw the black race back a long ways from knowing the truth about that. Because when we saw the white folks coming, we laugh at them, talk about the preaching and trying, we heard them. We'd laugh at them. We didn't know. We were used to being entertained. Reverend Connor, he was a performer. He's a performer. Then we had some of the sisters, like I say, they bring the liquor in the pocketbook to church. They'd be high, they'd be shouting and going on. Everybody didn't know they was high. They thought they just had religion, shouting. But they was high on their wine and liquor. Not all of them, but just one or two names. One lady, and during that Hoover time, money was scarce. If somebody put a quarter on the table, that was big money.
Wow.
They mostly put
quarter?
pennies. Yeah. You didn't hardly see a quarter. They putting pennies.
Wow.
And maybe a nickel.
Wow.
One old lady named Miss Elder Davis. She'd be shouting all the while Reverend Collins preaching. She's up, jump, shoot, jump. And when they stopped the sermon and said, "How will you take up collection?" She'd jump up and march out the church. Oh Lord, they done killed the spirit now. And she didn't want to find out one penny on the table, so she'd march out, So that's the situation. But then we did not know, like you said about the segregation thing. We didn't have the opportunity. Those white folks, one or two that came out, I can remember being small, and this white man came out of the house. And the reason he stopped there, because he thought white folks lived there. That big house I told you we lived in, most people thought white folks lived there. They didn't know. And And I remember Mama talking to this man. He didn't know one of them high up T-ball forwards. What do you T-ball? Something for the big T-ball. And I remember him talking to Mama. I was a little girl. And I always will believe, since I found out what the truth is, that I believe he was a witness. And he thought it was white folks stopped there. Thought white folks lived there. He stopped. And so Mama was out in the yard talking to him at the corner. And I'm sure he gave her something and she probably threw it away because she didn't know.
Right.
No, well, we knew was just what Reverend Carter and them was talking about out there.
Ah.
So anyway, I regret that we didn't, that I didn't know sooner, because my life would have probably been different. And I look at it and then I say, well, y'all wouldn't be here if my life would have been different. None of my children would have been here. So I wonder if it was Jehovah's intent that you here and you're not causing no problem to anybody. You're trying to live a clean life. And you have opportunity, like I say, you have opportunity for everlasting life. You not even have to see death at all. And that would make me feel good if I could live to see any of y'all getting the truth. Now, Tyrese and Kim, they were raised up in it, so their children are in it, and they all are growing up, and they're doing good. And if they marry, of course, they'll be courting somebody that's in the truth. Right. They won't be, go outside of it. But anyway, that's the only regret I had, that I didn't know the truth sooner. And go on and do what Jehovah expects us to do.
Okay.
But that's my one regret, is that I didn't know sooner. But like I say, if I had known sooner, y'all wouldn't be here.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, y'all would not be here.
Right.
None of my children would be here. So, evidently, it must have been the way. Oh,
you good?
It must have been for a reason, because you all are doing fine. You all are not out there breaking the laws, and you know what I'm saying. You got to live a clean life, and you have an opportunity for everlasting life. If y'all desire for a Bible study, all you do is free. Jehovah said salvation is free. You don't supposed to have to pay for it. You understand me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's free. And he has no desire for anybody to be lost. He desires for all of us to be saved. So we have something to work on, and look forward to. And it'll be a beautiful life. We had one young man that I think his mother had him in the street going door to door. I met him, and he married this girl. They had 3 children.
Wow.
Yeah, I missed him. Missed all of them. Look around, he done went back and gone back in prison. And after he'd already been baptized, I looked at him and his wife when he was baptized up there to Macon, Georgia. Him and his wife both was baptized. I missed him, and he's done gone back to prison.
Wow.
And his mama tried to raise him up, had him going door to door with her. And his children was all coming to meeting, and him and his wife was baptized at the same time.
Dang.
And he's disappeared, so he's going back to prison. So I'm sure he's out there selling dope, you see.
Yeah.
And they know that's wrong.
Right.
But you tell that you're destroying other people's lives.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you and your mother for raising y'all up to be upright citizens. That you're not causing no problem to her, and you're not causing no problem to your neighbors, to anybody.
Right.
And you and your sister have lovely personalities, and you have, like I said, you have an opportunity for everlasting life, because Jehovah didn't intend for people to die when he started creating man. He created them to live forever.
Right.
And he's not going to let these stupid people blow up this earth that it took him millions of years to form. He's not going to let these crazy people blow up this earth just because they want to.
Right.
We're not going to have that. He's not going to lie. You see the other presidents and all of them talking about them people in China and all around. This thing, that thing, those things. Jehovah not gonna let him blow up this earth. All them billions of years it took him to create the earth, but Jehovah created the earth for man to live on.
Right.
And he intended for you to live on it forever. Okay, so that gives you something to look forward to, something to work at, you know.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this with us. It's been a blessing just having you coming to visit. I'm glad that I live closer now, so I can come any weekend and it not be a burden on my tires or a burden on my health. So you're only 4 hours away now, so I'm just thankful to have you here. And I know your birthday is coming up. You don't celebrate it, but just wanted to take the time out, had a special moment with you. So I appreciate you, Grandma.
Well, I appreciate you.
Right.
Appreciate you, and I thank you for everything, and thank you for you and your lady to take time up to bring me out to dinner. I'm thankful for that. I'm happy to see y'all in good health and living a clean life. You know, it's a wonderful thing. I'm happy Jehovah let me live to see this, because John was my baby, our youngest child, and he let me live to see her children grown, you know, and doing good. And I'm thankful for that.
Thank you.
Jehovah is great. And I thank you for the opportunity.